Welcome, everyone. My name is Jonna Maydal, and today I'm here with my friend Amber Kruger, who wrote a devotional entitled I Am Loved. So, obviously, we know that we are loved by God, but what does that mean to you? Can you unpack that for us today?
Sure. So, I think that our understanding of God's love for us is really what should be the very root of our identities.
Right.
And anything beyond that is it's built on top of that foundation. And it's so important to understand that. And Isaiah 43 is such a great example of this.
It is, yeah.
It's written to Israel, who is just going through this really difficult time. They've been stripped of so much of their cultural identity, having been taken out of the promised land. They lost their temple. They lost all of these outer signs of kind of who they are. And what does God tell them? He says, you're loved, you are mine. And it's just such this great example of how that is the core of who they are as a people.
Right.
They are God's chosen. They're his loved ones. And he's even talking to them at this time where they're going through this because of their disobedience. They had been warned about what was going to happen. They didn't change their ways, and this was God's discipline to them. And in the midst of it, he's still saying, he's not belittling them. He's not telling them about how they screwed up. He's saying, I am loved. Like, you are loved. You are mine. I love you.
Right.
And it's just such, it speaks to me so much.
It's beautiful. I love the whole idea, because we're all moms. And, when we discipline our kids are like, oh, why'd you do that? Or, whatever. But we do it out of love, and God is the same with us. So if you could leave our listeners with one word of encouragement today, what would it be?
So I would say the world wants to tell you that your identity is rooted in the things that you do and the way that, you behave and your accomplishments. And that's not what God says. God says you're loved. You are his. And on those days where you screw up, on those days where you have nothing left, as a mom, we know that happens
all the time.
Regularly. It's not about, can you be, super mom today? Like, it doesn't matter. You are loved. And that is the very base of your identity. And I think the more that you lean into that, the more you root yourself in that, the more that you'll be able to weather all the storms that life throws at you.
True. The Cheerios all over the van, like whatever it is. How many times a day do I walk into my kitchen and crunch the Cheerios? It's like, someday I'm going to have a rage moment, but I am loved, right, Jesus? So anyway, thank you for telling us about that. And if you want to read more about her devotional and her story, or even download the complete 30 days, you can go to substancechurch.com/moms or click the link below. Thanks so much, you guys.